Welcome to Ask and Learn.
So they want us to come up with a covering relation of the partial ordering for the poset of security classes defined in example 25. So what they tell us in example 25 is that we have three classifications of the data or authorization levels. So for A, this was unclassified, which they said was 0, class or confidential, which is 1, secret, which is 2, and top secret, which is 3. And then we had three actual classes, which was spies, moles, and double agents. And the way we ordered this was supposed to be A, C, like this. And they tell us that we can only pass information along in the following. So we need, AI, CI, we can only pass this information to AIJ, CJ, if AI is less than AJ and CI is less than or equal to CJ or CI. So this is what we're going to do. Now, what would help is if we made a Haas diagram for this. So let's go ahead and do that. So the best way I can think about doing this without making it way too convoluted, what I'm going to do is on the side here, I'm going to put the classification. So we have top, which was 3, secret, which was 2, we had confidential, which was 1, and then unclassified, which was 0. Now, over going horizontally, I'm going to put the class of people. So, well, we can have where no one has the information in that class, so the empty set. Then we can have where spies have that information, S. We can have where moles have that information, M. And we can have where double agents have that. Then we can have something where it's S and M that have this information. And then we have where it is MS, or not MS, SD that has this information. And then from here, it's going to be MD, so moles and double agents can have the information. And then lastly, we have one where it's spies, moles, and double agents that can all have this information. So this is going to be all of them. Well, now let's go ahead and do this. So we can order this a little bit better. So the thing was that, so in this class of unclassified, the only way we can share the information is if it is a subset of the other. So the empty set is all the way down here. And then after that, we have spies, moles, and double agents. Then we have the 2 element sets here. And then we would have this on top like that. So just within this classification, let's see how many ways we can do this. Okay, so, well, we can have the flow of information like this. Then, so empty set is an element of those. Then spies can give information, or so spies and moles and spies and double agents can both give information to spies. Moles can get information from those. or can give information to those two sets. And then double agents can give information to these two. And then lastly, these can give information to our all three of them. All right, so let's see what we have here. So for this unclassified set over here, so remember it's supposed to be authorization and then class for our ordering set. So we're going to start all of these with 0. So it's going to be 0 and then fee. And then after that, we'll have, or so 0 fee can give information to 0s, and then 0 fee. So every time I say fee, I mean the empty set can give information to 0m, and then 0 fee can give information to 0d. All right, so that's that first set. So let's go ahead and just erase all of these now. And so remember, we don't need to say like fee to SM or fee to SD, fee to MD. Since the covering set, we only want one chain. So in this case, if we go from fee to S and then fee to SM, well, we can just use that relation as opposed to going from fee to SM. So we don't need to do that. All right, so we have that. So now I'm going to just go ahead and move that back to over here. And we'll use this in a second. So let me pick all this up and then shift it over a little bit. All right, so now let's find our next ordering for this. So for S, so we can start from 0S, and they can give information to 0 SM, and they can give information to 0 SD, like this. All right, now we can do the same thing. So let's go ahead and erase these two lines, and then we can move this back over here. All right, so now the next one we can do with M. So this is going to be 0M. So they can pass information along to 0 SM, and they can pass information along to 0 MD. All right, so we can go ahead and erase these here. And then let's go ahead and move this back over there in place. And then lastly, 0D can give information to 0SD, and it can give information to, oh, those should have brackets around all of these right here, or the single letters, and right there also. Okay. So this can give information now to 0 MD. All right, so now we can go ahead and erase those lines there. Then let's move this back in place also. All right. So now we could do the same thing for this next row. So it's going to be 0 SM. So they can give information to 0 SMD. And so that would be everything they can give information to. So we can get, so now we can go ahead and move this over here. And then next, 0 SD, they can give information also to 0 SMD. So we can go ahead and get rid of this and then move this to right here. And then for the last one, it's going to be 0 to SM or 0 MD to 0 SMD. Like that. And so that would be everything we can do for the flow of information in the unclassified. So that was a lot of work. So hopefully we can kind of find some pattern for the other ones. Okay. So that was just in between for the same level. And we'll have this repeated for all the classifications. So all you would need to do is replace all of these with ones. All right. So now let's do this for the next confidential level. All right. So this here is going to be fee. So actually, let me just go ahead and copy and paste this because it'll be the same thing again. Let me fix that real fast. I don't know why I put it down there. All right, fix that now. So now for the flow of information going between these levels here, well, one, we can just have where it goes from fee to fee. I don't know what happened to the S, but let me scoot these all over and then throw that in really quickly. So we can have the change of information going from fee to fee, S to S, M to M, D to D, S to M, S to D, M to D, and SMD to SMD, going up one confidential level. All right, so we can have that. And now let's see what else we could possibly have. Well, if we were to think about it, again, using that same kind of logic we did before. So we don't need to draw fee to anything other than these three, since all of these are going to be contained in these three sets here. And so because of that, we don't need to draw this fee to any of those sets. Okay, so that seems good. Now, similarly, we don't need to draw S, this S, going to any of these because this S goes to here and here. So that already gets eaten up by it. And then these get eaten by SMD. So we don't need to do that for SM or D. And then likewise, over here, we don't need to draw SM to SMD since this gets eaten by that one. Or it can pass information along to that one. So for in between these to make the covering set, we only need going from fee to fee, S to S, M to M, and so on. So let's go ahead and write out what that is going to be. And I'll do that in blue right above here. All right, so let's see what we have. So we can go from 0 to fee. And this is going to get passed to 1 fee. All right. Then we can also have information passed from 0s to 1s. Then we can have 0m passing to 1m, right? And then we can have 0d passing along to 1d. Then we can have 0sm passing along to 1sm. And then we can have 0sd passing along to 1sd. And we should have curly brackets around those. And then we should do 0md to 1md. And then lastly, we'll have 0 SMD passing along to 0 or to 1 SMD, like this. So this is going to be all of the classifications going in between. And this is going to hold going up to top secret and secret as well. So instead of writing all this out again, what we're going to do is just go ahead and copy and paste this a bunch of times. So we don't have to really stress about anything. So remember, this is same level for A, and then this is same C. All right, so all we need to do is, like I said, copy and paste this. Let me zoom down here a little bit. Oh, where did it? Oh, let me fix that really quick. All right, so I have that all fixed now. So it'll look slightly different from what I had before, just because I needed to start completely over. But so this is what we're going to start with. So remember, this is between the same authorization. This is between the same class. So what we're going to do for the next ones is just change all the letters. So I went ahead and copied that all to here. So now, actually, maybe I should write here. So this is the same authorization. So A is equal to 0. And this is for just the same class going from A equals to 0 to A is equal to 1. All right, so now this here should be same authorization, A is equal to 1. So all we need to do is come in here and erase all of these zeros and put ones instead. And so I'll go ahead and do that really quickly, and then I'll be right back. All right, so that would be all of the ways we can transfer the information with authorization 1 within that. And now over here for the same class, so this is going to go from A is equal to 1 to A is equal to 2. So what we're going to do is increase all of these by 1. So this should be 1, and now that should be 2. This here should be 1, and that there should be 2. This here should be 1, and this here should be 2. And then I'll go ahead and complete this and then be back in a second. All right, so now you can see it's going from level 1 to level 2, level 1, level 2, level 1, level 2, and it's staying within that same class. So now for the next one, so this is going to be classification 3 here, or actually classification 2. So that means we're going to change all those zeros out again for 2, so I'll do that really quick. All right, so now we have all of those changed to 2s. And now over here, for the same class, this is going to be from A is equal to 2 to A is equal to 3. So what we're going to do, so now we're starting from level 2, going to 3. Same thing here, starting from level 2, going to 3, and we'll just repeat that for the rest of those. And so you can see all of them are going from classification 2 to 3, classification 2 to 3, 2 to 3, but they're staying within the same class. All right, and then lastly, so I need to pull one more of these up. All right, so for this one, so we left off going to A3, so that means this here should be 3. So we're going to want to first change all of these zeros out for 3s. So I'll go ahead and do that really quick again, and I'll be right back. So this again is going to be for going between the same classification type, so all top secret. And then this last one should be going from A is equal to 3 to A is equal to 4, but we don't have anything like that. So we can actually just go ahead and ignore this last little piece right here. Oop, didn't mean to do that. So just ignore all this in blue. So our closure set, it's kind of big, so it is all of the classification 3 between itself, all of the classification going between the same class from 2 to 3, then information exchanged in class 2, then information exchanged from 1 to 2, and then information exchanged in 1, and then information exchanged from 0 to 1, and then lastly all the information exchanged in 0. So yeah, really long problem, but once you kind of got like this pattern down and drew that little chart, it kind of helps organize everything, I feel. So hopefully that wasn't too confusing for any of y'all following.